शुक्र। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अर्रहमानिर रहीम। मालिकी यौमिद्दीन। इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन। इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम। सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन। आमीन। रब्बी इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़्दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। रब्बी ज़िदनी इल्मन अजमईन। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन कमा सल्लैता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन कमा बारकता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। Welcome to LQ Milton class number 75, lesson number 26. We are resuming our class after 2 weeks of break due to reasons we shared on the WhatsApp. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give shifa to brother Inam. He's still not feeling well, and I just want to recognize in this class the efforts of people at the back end, making sure that this class will go on. May Allah reward them for their efforts, because we as humans cannot reward anybody. So from the bottom of my heart, I pray for all of you who are coming to the class and participating for the smooth conducting of this class. Brother Sardar, I want to mention him, even though he is doing an Umrah, alhamdulillah, making sure that all the logistics are available to us in the masjid. His presence is a blessing. Brother Inam, he is recording what you see on the board is his handwriting, alhamdulillah, mashallah, and he brings tea and snacks for us to recharge ourselves, alhamdulillah. And he's still not feeling well, but he made himself available, so jazakallah Inam bhai. And I was so impressed by brother Inam dedication. He didn't take his medication last night. Just to make sure that he probably would not be able to wake up for the Fajr, so and come to the class. So yeah, no, I mean we should really thank people and then acknowledge their efforts. So that's we'll begin our class. We are learning about the weak verbs. In the last few classes we spoke about or learned about al-ajwaf. We learned that there are weak letters, technically 3 weak letters, but 2 letters that are weak in the Arabic grammar: alif, waw and ya. Alif technically is not a letter, In Arabic, it's basically just used for sound. When the alif comes into a verb, it makes it weak. There's always a waw or a ya hiding behind it. We learned that concept. And if the weak letter comes in the beginning of the verb, we call it al-misal, right? Al-misal. Now, if and this is just information, you don't have to remember it. People who are curious, if there's a waw in the beginning, so 3-letter verb is a fa kalima, ain kalima, and the lam kalima, the 3 letters. So, if the weak letter is coming as a fa kalima, as a first radical, then we call it al-misal. And if it's a waw, then we call it al-misal al-wawi. And if it's a ya, we call it al-misal al-yai. Same with ajwaf. If the weak letter comes in the middle of the verb, we call it ajwaf, right? And then we call it al-ajwaf al-wawi or al-ajwaf al-yai. And if it comes in the third radical, the lam kalima, then it is naqis. We'll learn about it. Then it's al-naqis al-wawi or al-naqis al-yai. Just something to remember. In lesson number 26, we are learning about al-misal, and we finish the lesson. Tomorrow we'll do some exercises. But before we begin the lesson, on the board we have Surah Ash Sharah. Very beautiful surah, right? Most of us know it by heart. We memorized it and we recite it in our salah. But there are so many gems hidden in this surah that we will try to ponder upon and try to find few of them, not all of them, because depending on the level of knowledge we have so far, we'll try to learn about this surah. Begins with Hamzatu Istifham. What is Hamzatu Istifham? Particle of interrogation or particle of questioning, right? What is the function of Hamzatu Istifham? The particle of interrogation, it will make a sentence into a question. Number one, it will always come in the beginning of the sentence. That's few rules to remember about Hamzatu Istifham. Now, in this surah, this Hamzatu Istifham is a little bit more than that, and these are the gems we are talking about. I was going through some books and doing some reading. This is Hamzatu Istifham al-Taqriri. So, this surah is basically beginning with like an orator is doing an oration. Alam. So, there are emotions hiding behind it. So, this Hamzatu Istifham is, and just remember, if Hamzatu Istifham, and this is something that I felt, it's coming in the beginning of the surah, this entire surah will become an oration. Okay. So, these are the small little gems that only people who know the grammar be able to understand. So, if we have that understanding and thought in our mind and we are reciting this surah in our salah, then I bet our emotions will probably change a little bit, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is starting the surah with oration, as an orator. Lam comes. What is lam? harfu nafiyin wa jazmin wa qalbin. We learned about it. It is a negation past continuous, and it will be followed by fi'l mudari, and that fi'l mudari will be majzum. Will be majzum. Nashra fi'l mudari majzum bis sakun. What is the verb? Sharaha. Sharaha. Sharaha means to expand, to open, right? Sharaha yashrahu. 5 in your pocket. Yashrahu, tashrahu, tashrahu, ashrahu, nashrahu. Nashrahu, we open, right? We open. Did we not open? Right? Nashra is fi'l mudari majzum bis sakun. Now this lam nashra, past continuous, lam comes followed by fi'l mudari majzum. Is that a fact? We talked about it when we learned about the lam. This is a fact. So Allah, and where is the file in nashra? Where is the file? Where is the file? Mustatir, right? Sharjil bhai, mustatir. Taqdiruhu nahnu. Nahnu yadullu ala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is orating in his majestic language. Did we not open? Did we not open? Nashra comes. So this is now beautiful. This is where we are starting to open what? Right? This is a mutaaddi verb. It needs maf'ulun bihi. Where is the maf'ulun bihi? Sadra. Now jumla failure has a sequence: fail, file, and maf'ulun bihi. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about did we not open? Open what? Chest. Right? Chest. So that means this sadra is connected or as a maf'ulun bihi to nashra. What is this laka? Jar majroor. For you, did we not for you open what? Chest. This laka be muta'alliq nashra, because the opening of the chest is for you. You can see the construction. This is the Fusha language, Akbar. In a normal Arabic language, you don't see the construction of a sentence like that, but this is like so beautifully constructed.
Is it possible that this laka is actually lika, but it is because of the spelling rule?
Yes. So this la is basically li, for, but then we learned that when the mir muttasil joins with li for ease of pronunciation, we say laka, lahu, laha, lahum, right? This comes in the Quran all the time, and laka, but technically it's li. But this is a spelling rule. There is no grammar involved in it, but this is basically harf jar li followed by ism majroor ka. Sadrun, chest, right? But then it is sadra, it is mansub because it is mafulun bihi for nashra, right, and it is directly connected to nashra. Did we not open for you your chest? Now you see there is some emphasis going on here for you. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just imagine for a second, okay, these are the gems that we are trying to, let's say, remove laka from here. Kamran bhai, would that sentence make sense? Yes, it will make sense, right? Grammatically it would be correct, but then why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have to bring for you? See, translation would not be able, this is like, it just gives me shivers when we go through these surahs and ayahs, and then we apply whatever knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us and apply on these surahs and try to ponder upon it and then try to understand it. It opens up so many new things. So imagine if I would remove laka from it, even then grammatically it is correct. Alam nashra sadraka, did we not open your chest, right Akbar? But then why laka? For you, your chest. So that means this is a special privilege.
Also showing that no responsibility is on you.
Responsibility, yeah. For you I did that. I for you I did that special privilege for you, and you should feel responsible for it and you should take the responsibility. Now since we alhamdulillah understand this ayah, we can start ponder upon it, Kamran bhai, and now we start thinking about it, and then our imagination will go wild. This sadra is also mudaf and ka damir muttasil mudaf alayh, your chest. So now see, the more time we spend on this surah, this is a never ending this is technically never ending. Ka and ka, second person. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us in a second person directly, and also singular. So these are the things that are lost in the translation. I'm not against the translation, but I'm saying to ponder upon the ayah and then sit and then relax and then start analyzing the ayah and then think about each and every word, why they are there, and then that's how by more digging we'll find the jewels. So this is a direct oration, singular, second person. Did we not open for you a special privilege, your chest, as a special favor? And then, as Anam Bhai said, it's also a responsibility on us. Then come wow, ataf. Okay, now keep that in mind. Ataf is conjugation, connecting the two, either the two words or the two sentences, right? Keep that in mind. So whenever waw comes in the Quran, we need to relax, step back and think, what are the two things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is connecting? Number one, either the two words or the two sentences, and whatever gems we have discovered in the first sentence, because this is the first sentence and this is the second sentence, whatever the gems we have discovered in this sentence
Will be
carried into a second sentence, because those are two connected. So the impact of oration continues. It's continuous. It's not like it just stops here and then it doesn't. Wada means to put or also to remove. this is a dictionary that I use. It's not very heavy, but this is a beautiful history, a dictionary and glossary of the Quran by John Penrice. For our purpose, this is the best. What he did, he specifically wrote this dictionary for to provide us information about the words that are used in the Quran and nothing more. So most of the dictionaries are like that, this thick or that thick, and then yeah, we will find the words, but then most of the information for our purpose it's not necessary. This one is specifically for the Quran. John Penrice, he was the major in Second or First World War in Egypt, and he was stationed in Egypt. I learned a bit history about him. He was stationed in Egypt, I think of Second World War, where he learned, and he was so intelligent. He learned the Arabic language, and then he wrote this this dictionary. British major. Wada'a. Now, Shajil bhai, you had a question one time that you asked me. How would you know if this na is a damir muttasil or it is the file, right? The file. Wada'a, to remove. Wada'a, Shajil bhai, wada'a, wada'u, wada'at, wada'ata, wada'na. What happened to the lam kalima? It got sakoon. It got sakoon, and then it continues on. Wada'na, wada'ta, wada'tuma, wada'tum, wada'ti, wada'tuma, wada'tuna, wada'tu, wada'na. So wada'na, we removed. Fail madi. Fail madi. Where is the file? Na, right? Do you see the lam kalima has a sakoon on it? So that means this is not a damir muttasil. But if you would have to put damir muttasil on wada'a, then you will say wada'ana, and and the meaning will change. This means we removed, and wada'ana, we removed, he removed in a plural, in us, right? Because exactly, exactly, he removed. Wada'ana, we removed you all, in or including us, including me, right? All of us, the whole class is being removed. So the meaning will change. So this is the question you had. Wa wada'na, and we removed anka wizrak, for you wizra. Now wada, we removed what? What are we looking for? Mafulun bihi, burden. And this burden, same thing, going to wadana. Wahuwa mudaf, and ka mudaf alayh. The surah is continuing on. The surah is continuing on in a second person, directly, as I am speaking to you all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is having a one-on-one conversation with us in this surah. Now, did I say alam taqriri, haramzatul istifham taqriri, that oration continues on, and then anka, for you, remove anka from here. What will happen to the sentence, Akbar? Would that I would say, then why put anka here? Emphasis. Yeah. I mean, special favor. special favor. And then, and this is not the purpose of this from the translation perspective, it's not, but in hindsight, if somebody would have to think of it, and alam nashrah laka sadrak wa wada'na anka wizrak. This alam is missing here, but technically thinking about it, this wow here is ataf. Two sentences are joined, so doesn't it feels like that alam is also impacting the second sentence? Doesn't it feel like? Even though in a translation would not capture that. I'm not going to say alam vadana, but it feels like when you're doing an oration, it feels like that alam is also impacting the second ayah. And then same thing is happening, same gems are happening. Laka anka wizra, your burden. We're not emphasizing too much on the translation right now. We are trying to emphasize on the grammar and trying to understand these ayahs. Allazi. What is allazi? Ism mawsula. What is allazi here? Okay, allazi is mawsula. Sharjil bhai, Kamran bhai, it is mawsula, but it has to have a grammatical value other than ism, because ism mawsula basically plays a role in a sentence. It has to be, I don't know, could play a role of a file, it could play a role of a naat, it could play a role, any role it has to play. Here the role of allazi is a naat for wizra. It's a naat for burden. Wizra burden hi hai na bhai? Yeah, wizra burden. Yeah, burden. What kind of allazi is a naat for wizra, so this allazi is ism mawsula mansoob, naat for wizra, because which is or the one which allazi, what, the burden, anqada. Just give me a second here. Anqada. What is the meaning of anqada, Inam bhai?
Anqada is.
Oh, sorry.
Very nice.
A burden. Naqa 150. I have. Just give me a second here. Bismillah. Yeah. Just give me a second. Naqada. A load, a load. It means a load from getting loose on the back. A load that is removed or loosed from the back. The one anqada. So that's what it is. It's page number 150 of the. Now, one thing that we have to stop and think about, naqada is the verb, right? Naqada is the verb. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing is using a form 4 of naqada, anqada. There has to be some magic to it, right? There has to be a magic to it. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the form 4 of naqada, anqada. Now let's take a look at, and I'll share this this chart with everyone. It means to remove something, burden, from the back, anqada. And this anqada, basically naqada, which is the form 1, Naqada, which is the form 1, if it is used in as form 4, is the whatever the form 1 is has been signified. So, the removal of the burden has been signified by form 1. So, form 4 is signifying form 1 to a greater quality of the signification is more for a particular purpose. We will learn about these forms in book 3, in book 3 in more detail, but the point that I am making is that whenever different forms of the verbs come in the Quran, we have to identify them, B, we have to think about why they are being used. Why not use the form 1 or form 2? So, there is a reason for that. Allazi, form 4, Zaharak.
Same which we already learned from Nazala,
Anzala,
Anzala.
Nazala, Anzala, Nazala, Anzala, Nazala, Af'ala. We will learn about these things in book 3. We haven't learned these things yet. Ism Mausula come. Shajil bhai, question?
Yes. So, I was going to say, how do I distinguish this is a form 4, not fi'l mudari, like for me?
There is a formula to that, but once we come on book 3 and we start learning about these forms, then we will find out, right? Then we will find out, because this is Hamza, okay, this is Hamza. So, we will learn about the different forms. Now, Mausula comes, Allazi, Nath. What follows Allazi? Silatul Mausul, right? We have to define what Allazi is. Anqada Zaharak is your Silatul Mausul. This is what Allazi is being defined. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wadu'ana anka wizrak, your burden, the one which is weighed upon on your back or loosened upon on your from your back. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that his hand has been removed. Now, think, ji Kamran bhai, question? No. Allazi comes, and Allazi is basically not for Wizra, and then Allazi is explained as a Silatul Mausul. Akbar, it's making sense, right? So, that means Wadu'ana anka wizrak Allazi anqada zaharak. So, this is basically explaining what is Wizra, right? What is Wizra, and then has been removed from your back. Zahara means your back. So, anqada, the Zahara is your mafulun bihi for anqada, right? Mafulun wahuwa mudaf and ka is your mudaf alayh. Still we are talking about second person singular. So, that thing continues on. So, this is going back to alam, right? Then comes waw again. Now, I see Kamran bhai is smiling because Kamran bhai immediately know what I was going to say. Same thing. Kamran bhai is the same thing. Rafa'a, Rafa'ana, we raised, right? Laka zikrak. Now, if I remove laka here, same thing, same drill, emphasis, alam is there, second person is going on. So, now the oration is making more sense for us. For you, from you, for you, we did this, we did that, right? Did we not? Did we not do this? Did not we, for you, we did that, did you? So, now it's all making sense, right? We raised for you your mention, zikra. Now, zikra is mafulun bihi for rafa, removed, raised what? Mention, your mention, for you.
It also says your reputation.
Your reputation.
Prophet Sallam's reputation was
Zikra, reputation, or mention. Mention, because he's been mentioned, his mention or his reputation has been increased. Sir? Your esteem.
yes.
So yes, esteem is also a word we can use. So now comes see, now we are applying whatever knowledge we have, and I hope it's making sense, Sajil Bhai, right? Alhamdulillah. Fa comes. What is fa? Ataf, right? So now something about fa that I was going through some of the books and doing some research on fa. Fa is ataf, yeah. So, but fa is also used. So sometimes Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is using waw, and sometimes Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is using fa. What's the difference, right? So, and waw means and fa we translate it as so. It is a continuation. So whenever fa is used, the action that is mentioned happens one after another, immediately. That's something we have to keep in mind. So warafana laka zikrak, so immediately this happens.
What I feel is waw is means and, so it's a continuation,
Joining to, yeah.
So fa, wherever fa comes, it's like Allah is giving a conclusion. I mean, Allah is reaching to a conclusion. So therefore, fa is therefore.
Yeah.
Then
This, and immediately that will happen. For example, the minute soldiers come out, they fall in order, right? So one action after another. So it's a continuation of the second action, falling in order, and the coming out of the soldiers, and the falling in order is understood. Inna comes. What is inna? You remember, Akbar? Harfu nasbin wa harfu tawqid wa nasbin, right? It will be followed by an ism, and that ism will be mansoob, and it will enter into jumla ismiya. Inna. So indeed, so as soon as warafana laka zikrak and these things happened, immediately what happens? Indeed, so immediately indeed what happens? With ma'a. Now what are we looking for after inna? Ismu inna. Ismu inna mansoob. Where is ismu inna mansoob? Yusra. Okay. Now, has anybody felt anything? Nadeem bhai, you're smiling. Please share.
oh, because that's a tricky question actually. When we normally see anything which is mansoob, we normally take it as that's the ism. But ism means ism. Ma is not an ism.
Khabar of 5 types,
Yes, yeah.
right? This ma is zarf, right? So this is khabar inna. This is ma is khabar inna. Now, this is something that I feel, and I wanted to share with everyone. Whenever inna comes, it will have ism inna, and that ism inna is very important because the emphasis is on that ism. Okay, and that emphasis will make it mansoob, right? That emphasis will make it mansoob, because inna will have an impact on ism inna, and then will make it mansoob. Innal insana lafi khusr, right? Insana. So emphasis is on inna. Insana is inna is. So now imagine this is your asmu inna mansub, ease, and this is us means difficulty, right, difficulty. Ma'al usri, ma is your zarf, and al usri is your mudafale, right, and this is khabar inna, and khabar inna we know is marfu. Right, so this is khabar inna. Now imagine, and this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ar-Rahim, ar-Rahman, and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very evident in this ayah, if anybody can capture that. What if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have flipped ma'al yusra, because with difficulty there is an ease, or with ease there is a difficulty. So emphasis is on ease, because this is ismu inna. Now, bhai? Basically what Allah is saying, after difficulty there is ease, or after ease difficulty. So this is a phenomena that's going on, right? But then if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have flipped this,
means grammatically, for example, if it says that فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْيُسْرِ أُسْرًا, even then the
grammatically it would be correct, but the phenomena will be different.
because Allah is giving us a
Hope, yes.
That will give us depression.
Yeah.
Even in ease, we will be worried about the
difficulty.
So it reflects the rahmah.
It's exactly, that's what I said, ar-Rahman, ar-Rahim, that the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in this ayah. The phenomena is, after difficulty there is ease, not ease and then difficulty. You know, and emphasis is on ease, not on difficulty.
Why usri? Why usri?
Because after zarf comes mudafale. After zarf comes mudafale is majroor, and it is not tanween because al is there. Yeah.
There's also another small thing over here. Allah says that khabar inna marfu. Where we are saying marfu? That is
Ma'al usri, this zarf and mudafale is your khabar, shibu jumla, khabar, marfu, khabar inna. Khabar inna. Then comes, we spend a lot of time, but that's okay. This is important. This is why we are learning this entire. Then comes inna ma'al usri yusra. So basically, same sentence repeated for emphasis. Alal sabiqa. And repetition is for making sure that you understand, that we understand. Right? Inna ma'al usri yusra. For ta'keed, lissabiqa, right? For ta'keed. Then fa comes. So atifa, harfu atifa, harfu ataf, iza. What is iza? What is the meaning of iza? So when, right? This is the zarf. Zarf lil zaman, lil mustaqbil, lil shart. This is a very beautiful ayah, and iza is basically, and then we'll learn it in book 3, but I'll share with everyone. Alhamdulillah, we are all getting it. When I say when, what comes to your mind? It's a conditional sentence. When something happens, then when there is a condition that is met, then something will happen, right? So iza is a zarf, when, lil zaman, for time, lil mustaqbil, for futurity, when in future, when some condition will met, then you have to do this. So in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have used shartiya jumla, the conditional sentences are a lot, and then we learn a lot of, and these are beautiful. Once we understand shartiya jumla, then the whole understanding of the Quran, there are so many ayahs in Quran which are shartiya, conditional sentences. So this iza is basically zarf lil zaman, adverb of time, lil mustaqbil for future, something, some condition would have to met, and then lil shart, and it's a condition. Fa iza faraghta, faragha means
Free.
when you're free. Yeah, while Namba is looking at the, but we know what faragha is.
Yeah, at some place it says, and so when you have finished.
You're finished, or you're free, or you're available. Yeah, when you're done. So what is the condition? Iza in mustaqbil, in future. Faraghta, when you're free or when you're available. Faraghta. Now this, imagine this entire, just notice that this entire surah is second person. So ta is your file, second person, right? Second person. So when you are available, let's, for the sake of translation, say when you are available, we know what faragha means, or when you're available. So this is the condition. So whenever there is a shart, there has to be a jawabu shart. In computer coding, if and when, if and then, if this happen, then do this, if this happen, then do this. Come on, by understand, because you're in IT, right? Yeah. So this is a programming. So there is a conditional sentence going on. So this is the condition. So when you are available in future, liz zaman, at time, fansab. So stand, work hard, stand, erect, just do your job, right? Now why there is a fa there? This fa is representing jawabu shart for iza. This is book 3 concept, but there is nothing wrong for us to just get a feeling of it. So whenever there is a shart, and there are conditions for shart, how do we identify a shart, and when fa will come, there is a whole grammatical rules around it, which we will learn. But then this fa is representing jawabu shart. When this condition met, then you do this. Ansab, what is ansab? Nasaba, yansabu, 5 in your pocket. Yansabu, tansabu, ansabu, tansabu, ansabu, nansabu. Since this entire debate is going in second person, so tansabu, ansab. What is ansab? Fail amar. Very important. Very important. What does that mean? Now this is I did this for you. Didn't I do this for you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, didn't I do this for you? And this is what happened. And then we did this for you. And then rest assured, this and this. So I've done everything, and I'm promising you this. So when this happened, then you should stand. And this is an order. So after doing all this, if you don't do it, then this entire debate, Allah will Ar-Rahim Ar-Rahman, but this is our duty. In order, second person, singular. Jawabu shart.
What I'm looking into that, the entire center of gravity of the entire message is on ansab.
Ansab.
If we are not standing up, it means that we are not, our sadr is not having the state of Sharah so far.
Yeah.
So we are not doing all this.
Yes.
So if we have grasped the idea of the surah, so the responsibility is
This is our this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responsibility. These are all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's responsibility. Our responsibility is only ansab. Okay, Allah saying this is my responsibility, this is my responsibility, my responsibility, my responsibility, my responsibility, my responsibility, and is giving us some it's not giving us order right away. He's saying if you are available, giving us some more room to play with. When you are available, then you do this.
just like you give us knowledge every Saturday, and then you say if you have time,
Go home and then do it.
something.
Yeah, no, it's with everyone. Ji, na,
Allah
Nadim bhai.
is also saying two words. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. It means we think that this is difficult, but there is an ease with the difficulty.
Ease with the difficulty.
So you
Yeah.
cannot say that you are so occupied with the difficulty.
Yes.
I have given you the ease.
Yes.
And once this ease is there,
Yes.
and you are free, and then when you are free, then fun.
Fun sab, then fun.
No, I think it's not said in sense of being free, because Alladhi ankara zahra. So Allah has already made you free. Yeah.
So Sajil bhai, this is what this course is all about. Okay, your understanding is correct. Everyone will, in their own mind, will, after thinking about it, pondering upon it, will find gems. You just found another gem for yourself. Okay, there are no wrong answers here. Okay, one thing that I always emphasize, there are no wrong answers. It depends on the person applying the knowledge. Whatever gem he or she can discover, good for them. Nadeem bhai just discovered another gem. You discovered a different gem. Naam bhai had a different opinion. They're all correct.
And the reality is that we normally think opposite. When we are free, we think this is a relaxing time.
Yeah.
So just chill.
Then let's just chill, and then when I have time, then I'll do it. But fun sab. And then Shajil bhai is saying we are already being farakhta because of all this.
Yes.
That's a good point, Shajil bhai. We are already being farakhta because of this. Akbar.
I had a question. So the word faragta, it's not a fil amr, right?
No, it's not.
But
No.
if it said faraghat instead of the sukun was on the ta, that would be fil amr.
Sorry?
If it said fa'idha faraghat, if the sukun was on the ta, would that be a fil amr?
Faragha yaghrifu.
Like, you know,
No. The Amr would have the Hamza there, because Hamza is there for ansab, right? Because of the sign of mudare will be gone, right? So it will be afrah, fansab, afrah, right?
So is it fa that is making the meaning of iza as when? Because sometimes iza is
So-
used as
so-
suddenly too, sometimes in Quran. So I want to distinguish iza from when to suddenly. Sometimes there is iza and it means achanak, suddenly.
Iza is her no. Iza is liz zaman. No. Don't confuse Iza. No. Iza is her zarf liz zaman. It's a condition. When this happened, then this happened. Because I know, because this is also lil shart, conditional, because of this fa. Okay, I know this is shart because this is fa. We'll learn about shartiya jumla, Shajil bhai. So don't. The point is, we know about shartiya jumla, and we know sometimes jawabu shart will come with fa. Okay, and then there are two connected. When this condition met, then this will happen. Va ila rabbika farghab. Okay, so once we ansab, then we farghab. And to your Lord, turn your attention. Farqab. So what is it saying? Don't just stand. You also have to be attentive, right? So Allah did this everything for us. All He wants us to stand and then be attentive. These are 2 our jobs. And this is jumla. This ayah is matufun ala jumla sabiqa, the previous sentence. And number, I think we have about 55 minutes already. Yeah, I think we are done. It's fine. One last thing is the last minute we have. We'll do a conjugation of al-misal, okay, and then the exercises we'll do in the next class, and then we'll start inshallah lesson number 27. There are only 4 lessons left in book 2, and then we'll start. Wada'a, to remove. Wada'a, wada'u, wada'at, wada'ata, wada'na, wada'ta, wada'tuma, wada'tum, wada'ti, wada'tuma, wada'tunna, wada'tu, wada'na. Right? We know no change is happening. Wada'na, we removed. Wada'ta, you removed. Wada, he removed. Wada'at, she removed. So this is fine. But when it comes to, and this is the misal, when it comes to mudare in al-misal, wada'a yada'u, he removes. He removes. He removes. What happened to waw? It got dropped. And for people to remember, I say chumantar, because this is weak, right? Yada'u. What is yada'u? Where is the sign of it being mudare? Ya. Is it marfu? It is marfu bi dhamma, because of dhamma. We have done this drill before. Yada'u. So alam yajidka yatiman fa'awa. Wajada, he found. Yajidu, he finds. Tajidu, you find. So the waw has been dropped. So alam yajidka, did he not find? Yajidka, you, he not find you. Who? Yatiman, orphan, fa'awa, and he covered you or protected you, right?
Is there always ya behind waw? When the waw is going to be dropped, ya is going to come?
Ya is the sign of it being mudare, because ya has to come. Without ya we cannot differentiate. So there are signs of mudare, right? Ya, ta, alif, and ya. So without ya we cannot identify whether it's a mudare or not. Yeah, exactly. Yada'u. So that's something we'll do a bit more in the lessons. Yada'u, yada'ani, yada'una, tada'u, tada'ani, yada'na, tada'u, tada'ani, tada'una, tada'ina, tada'ani, tada'na, ada'u, nada'u. Right? Waw is not there. In misal, the waw is not there. I'm making weak verbs. Weak verbs are the toughest, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for the class. I'm not going into the different babs. I'm not going into no. Just identify the weak verb and then move on. Okay. Tada'u, you remove. And when I say amar, tada'u, remove the ta, sign of it being mudare, and make it majzoom. Da, remove.
You removed off.
Yeah, I removed. Da, put, depending on the sentence, right? So that is da. Where is the file in the mustatir? Taqdiruhu anta, because order can only be given to a second person, right? Da, da'a, da'u, da'i, da'a, da'ana. Right? We have done this drill before. Kamran bhai?
Why didn't we add,
Hamza? Hamza? You will only bring Hamza. You will only bring Hamza if the fa kalima has a sakoon. Okay. Jalasa, yajlisu. What is on the fa kalima? Sakoon. So if I remove ya, can I pronunciate ja, the fa kalima? No. Then I have to bring Hamza to make it more meaningful. Right? But if I can already do it, qala, yaqulu, taqulu, qul. I don't need to bring in Hamza. I don't have to bring Hamza every single time. If there is a need, if the fa kalima is a sakoon, then I will bring Hamza and I would put a proper the sign on it. If there's a dhamma on if there's a kasra on lam kalima, I put kasra on Hamza. If there's a dhamma or a fatah, then I put a dhamma there on the Hamza. This is the rule we learned. Da, where is the file? Mustatir taqdiruhu anta. Da'a, where is the file? Alif is the file. Da'u, where is the file? Waw is the file. Da'i, where is the file? Ya is the file. Da'a, where is the file? Alif. Da'ana, where is the file? Noon is the file. Okay. So there are a few exercises in lesson number 26. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La yakallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha laha ma kasabat wa alayha maktasabat. Rabbana la tu'akhizna in nasina aw akhtana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alayna isran kama hamaltahu ala allazina min qablina. Rabbana wa la tuhammilna ma la taqata lana bih wa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana fansurna alal qawmil kafirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.